My blanket just fell off my head. Hello and welcome to the penultimate broadcast of track 19 from the House Share House album. Blimey. Do you know what? If you think this is crap, I'm not kidding. Just try and talk 20 times about something and you might then see why this is like a pile of poo. Anyway, but as I say, if you're running through the park or doing a bit of painting, this might make you feel good. You might think, oh, bloody hell, I thought I had a hard job on there, but listen to that bloke. Bloody hell, at least I'm not him. And you're right. You don't want to be me. Anyway, now, penultimate. Am I saying that right? Promote. Last but one. No, I didn't say I was a speaker. I didn't say I was a singer. I can barely say melodic. Don't know if I'm saying that. I don't even know if it's the right word. I think you use that word a lot, but I do not think you think it knows what you think you means. Anyway, that quote wasn't right either. But let's get back to this because I've just discovered that track 19, Safe House, is a totally modern Millie tune. It is lovely. I don't know where that's been hiding. I think you're going to like it. Is it as good as track 12? I don't know. Is it one of my favourites? I think it is. There's something nice about this tune. It's grown up. It feels comfortable. I think it's confident. I don't know. I think it doesn't care. I think it's carrying a bit of weight and it doesn't worry. It's like that. It's happy. It knows who it is and it doesn't care. Is it house? Yes. Is it melodic house? Yes. If I think I know what that tune means. It's got a nice vocal hit. It creates that bittersweet emotion that I like from house tunes. Remember in track 1, which seems so long ago that we spoke about that, getting on the dance floor. I mean, I don't know if anyone's actually commented on that because I haven't published these yet. I've actually made all of it. Well, I haven't made all of them. We're only at track 19. I think I'm going to push on through as this blanket now is starting to smell. I mean, I've had it over my head now for 20 tracks. Not all in one go, I grant you, but still. It still had to be over my head. Anyway, as I said in broadcast 1, episode 1, track 1, what were we calling it back then? I think we were calling it track 1. About getting on the dance floor, closing your eyes and opening them again, and 4 hours has gone by. Well, this is, I think, a tune that I would have got on the dance floor, would have made me drift away into that lovely trancey state of not caring about anything, travelling along on the buzz that was the tune. Oh man, do you know what? I would love to do that. You must have done this. If you never got to do this, I feel sorry for you, son, because you must. If you're an old raver, and if you're a young raver, you probably didn't get that opportunity. I don't know. I know the clubs have changed now, and I know the atmosphere's changed now. But just thinking about that now makes me want to cry that I probably will never get the opportunity to do that again. I mean, the music, everything, just everything. It was such a dark time for some of us back then. I mean, we were being trained at school. I was born in the 60s. I grew up in the 70s. Everything was changing, but we didn't know. We were being trained to have a job for life. We honestly, I mean, my mates, we used to talk about what we would do when the 3-minute warning went off. And for those of you that don't know, luckily, the 3-minute warning was this idea that if the Russians fired a nuclear weapon at us, we had 3 minutes warning before it landed. And of course, young boys, where were we going to be? You can imagine our plans, what we were going to get done in 3 minutes. Probably in those days could have got it done twice. And we had plans to make sure we were always within 100 yards of the girls' school. I don't think, I was that age, back then. It's not creepy. Well, we were 14, 15-year-old boys, whatever, 17, And as we got older, it changed to, like, certain other places where we knew the right aged ladies would be. Anyway, that's what we thought was going to happen, and we had protest songs, all that sort of thing, and it was a dark time. And then just as I mean, Thatcher was a cow. I don't care what anyone says, but you have to give like small credit where she kind of was the instigator for sort of getting Reagan and Gorbachev to like talk, and then the next thing you know that the Cold War is over. I mean, I've got to be fair. I'm not a fan of the old bag, but one of the saddest things was that she got dementia and couldn't see how everything changed. Everyone couldn't wait to change everything that she'd done once she was out. But mind you, the greedy bastards still kept it on their side. But anyway, she did do that one thing that she's got to have credit for. And, that ended. We weren't going to be blown up, or less likely. And then, just as that happened, AIDS came along. And that was going to get us. So now you were just getting old enough to know what girls were for, and then you couldn't touch them because they were going to kill you. Well, it's not their fault. The AIDS was. That's what you felt. So it was a dark time. And then Raven came along, and it picked everybody's. Well, we got into it. We loved it, and yeah, that's simplistic. Everything's simplistic. I'm not going to go on about. All into the ins and outs, but that's roughly how we felt, and suddenly this ray of light of Raven popped up, and he had this wonderful feeling. I mean, Raven was credited to ending the football hooliganism, which was really bad at the time. I mean, it was ridiculous. People getting hurt over a flipping kids game that adults play and take too seriously. I mean, it was ridiculous. But the mood of the raves showed these guys that there was another way. It's not me credited; it's that the other people are credited to that. And I mean, I did see rival firms at certain raves getting on with each other. It was mental. So I mean, don't get me wrong. There's always bad sides to everything, and there's sometimes good sides. You can't say there's bad side and good side to everything, because I'm not sure what the good side to the Nazi Reich was, but anyway, sometimes there's a bad side and a good side to most things. But Raven was one of those things that had a good side and a bad side. Luckily, I mostly saw the good side in the early days anyway. Certainly end of the 80s, 1991, pushing it into 92, sort of the middle of 93 with the golden years. I mean, towards the end of 93, it was getting more mainstream, and more criminals were getting involved and things like that, and it wasn't great. And the old Bill were getting more queued up to what was going on and getting a bit nastier. In the early days, they weren't that bothered. It was a nice day out from this, so they told me. Many of them used to say, now we get an overtime for this, and it's nice. Anyway, I'm digressing again, because I was quietly pleased when I just checked out track 19, Safe House. Still going with these puns. Seriously, if you think of names for these tunes, put them in the comments, and maybe if they're not too rude, we'll use them. But yeah, I as I said, I was pleasantly surprised how nice this tune was. Maybe showing a bit of maturity. I'm now interested. I'm looking now at the last tune, track 20, and the end of our journey. I know it's heartbreaking. It's going to be in the same. I can see people are going to feel just like they did when Take That split up. So I'm sorry for that, but you never know. We can always do this about some of the other tunes that are coming along, if you want to. I mean, I don't know how big your park is that you're running through, or your wood, or how much you got to paint, or your housekeeping, but yeah, we can do more. Just let me know. Use the comment. I'm pushing the comments a lot, aren't I? Because I actually want to see what you say. I realise that I want to reply to them all as well, and so it might be making a rod for my own back, especially if all 8 of you, decide to write comments regularly. But again, maybe 8 is a lot. Maybe it'll just be the 2 of you. Maybe it'll be me and my mum. Yeah. Anyway, again, just wandering off track there. I'm sure this is the clips I've seen of podcasts, so did seem to be a bit. I mean, the only one I did like was the one with Ricky Gervais, that tall fella, and the bald bloke. I did see those, and then they seemed to turn into the three of them as cartoons. That was quite good. But again, they were visual, so I didn't really get that in the cartoon. So, but I've never actually listened to a podcast as such. So I don't know. Maybe you could recommend a good one for me to try out. Leave it in the comments. It's not subtle, is it? I mean, I could be saying subscribe, but I kind of get fed up with hearing every video you watch on YouTube with people going, "Can you subscribe?" You know, if they're gonna, aren't they? I don't think I've ever asked for subscriptions. Is that the right way? You know, but you know, if you fancy it, you can. I mean, yeah, but leave a comment. I mean, that is different. I don't hear many people saying that. I mean, chuck a like in. I mean, that would be good. Thumbs up, not the other one. I don't know if you can take that off. If you could take that other one off, I would. I'll look into that. Anyway, so we're at track 19, and I'm pleasantly surprised. It's a nice tune. I really like this, and I hope you do. It's as I say, it's one of those ones that you could get on the dance floor and sort of trance out. Not like a trance, but you know, you could, if you're that way inclined, if you're in that mood. Yeah, it's a shame that I probably won't ever get that chance, and same for anybody else who used to enjoy that, but it was a mental experience, really. Yeah, happy days. I mean, I remember once being on this, I mean, it was mental. I mean, you get there in the dark, like, you know, so I remember walking up this, and I knew it was countryside, and we were walking up this grassy hill. I know it's grassy, even though it's dark. If you've ever been in the countryside at night, it is pitch black. Anyway, walking up this grassy hill, and you know, get up there and we're dancing away, and I'm doing this thing where, you know, get my eyes shut, open my eyes, and the sun's coming up, and you're on top of this lovely, beautiful sort of like stereotypical grassy hill, you know, just a hump with one tree on it, and you're under that, and you can see for miles out of it as the sun was coming up. It was mental. It was beautiful. And yeah, it was like, and it felt like one minute you were there and it was dark, next minute the sun was coming up, and the brilliant tunes behind you. Happy days. A lot of that was probably because I was still in my 20s. Anyway, take a listen to Safe House, track 19, the penultimate one of House Share, and hopefully, well, my God, if you've come this far, I'm definitely going to see you in the next broadcast. I'm sure of it. Anyway, hope you like it. Leave a comment.